Talk time after done. We've had this conversation. I told people today, Trinidadians haven't realized this. Trinidadians didn't realize this. Let me read something I wrote today because I get vexed. You know why I get vexed? I get vexed because Fitzgerald Hines a nasty fella. Nasty, nasty fella. And that's why they send him up in Mova. They send Fitzy up in Mova to give them people jam. You want to vote red? And you're red and ready? Look where you vote for. Hear this man now. I mean, I get vexed. And I'm going to play it for you. But I said this today. New York City has 8 times the population of this country, but has none of these problems. What problems are talking about? Let me let you hear this man. Let me let you hear a little piece of this man. He was on the Hema Ramkisoon show this morning. Was it this morning?
I am Laventil is me, so I claim it.
So the fact that you've claimed, Minister, and the fact that you've represented that constituency in particular for 12 years.
For 12 years,
approximately.
Yes. Between 1995 and 2007.
The residents say that they've met with their MP, but did you have conversations with the MP? Because water was one of the issues cited.
Yes, water is an issue across Trinidad and Tobago. Unfortunately, after near 55 years as a nation state, we are not in a position where every citizen in every household and every business could receive a water supply 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is not yet the case, fortunately or unfortunately.
Here, Jack Assery. Oh my God. Here, Jack Assery. Listen. Fitzgerald Hines, fire yourself. You son of a bitch, fire yourself. Those who have the children watching this video, not tonight, Josephine. Fitzgerald Hines, fire yourself. How could you sit on Hema Ramkisoon show? I pause it. I want to hear what Hema asked him after that statement there, because I put in media and journalists on trial today. You see, they fire, what's his boy name? Who just write the Muslim thing? What's his name? Somebody write it quick. They fire him. And so they fire him and they tell him, it's because they have no money. They come in right out and tell you, nobody buying newspaper anymore, nobody watching them, nobody taking them on anymore. So after I deal with what he said, I want to hear what Hema asked him after. But this man just watched into the camera and tell Trinidad and Tobago, after 55 years as an independent nation, we spent $60 billion in the last 10 years, you know. We spend more per capita as a budget in this country than the United freaking States of America, and they put men on the moon. They own the Hubble telescope. They fight war in 19 fronts. We have a 2x4 chirrup army. How could that be that this man, your Minister of Public Utilities, could say to Trinidad and Tobago, 55 years later, it is still not possible to give people water 24/7? How is that acceptable? Why are the people of this country so foolish as to accept this bullshit?
That is not the case, fortunately or unfortunately. That is not the case. And therefore, it remains an aspiration. And now, for the last 6 months, I've been the Minister of Public Utilities. What we did recently is to cause WASA to revise its scheduling, because you have to schedule the distribution of water in light of the fact that you can't fill all the lines and all the homes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Listen to the jackassery. This is 2017. At a time, do you know that there are fully automated desalination plants that you could use with solar power and wind energy, set it up and never touch it again? That will just continuously, round the clock, 24/7 desalinate water, so all the coastal constituencies could take their water straight out of the sea. Yes, and they could do it in such volumes as the constituencies chick and jowl with them, they can get some water too. So we don't have to have this problem, but we keep voting jackasses into power. Listen to this jackass, Fitzgerald Hines.
Lines and all the homes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as some societies do. I lived in England for 7 years and I turned on my tap every day, never expecting not to get water, and never did not get water. Always got it.
The man, he admits it. We have had a PNM government for the largest part of 55 years. The UNC do their shit too. Get them the stick because they didn't deliver. But the PNM cannot win in Okom. Oh gosh, man. They really have a God in heaven and lightning didn't strike this man. The PNM, we've been independent for 55 years. We've spent billions, trillions of dollars. How is it not possible for us 55 years later, having spent all of these billions of dollars, $60 billion in the last 10 years, how is it not possible that us, like England, could turn on a tap and expect water?
For 7 years, and I turned on my tap every day, never expecting not to get water, and never did not get water. Always got it. And they recycle from the Thames. Recently, I had the opportunity to do a bit of a flyover parts of the Thames, and I saw their major water reservoirs. So I know that it is possible.
Not only is it possible, jackass, but we have not built not one single water retention device, not one, since the Queen has left. We did the Salcott Bacchanal and hundreds of billions of dollars of theft and all that Bacchanal that went on in the desalination plant to send water into Point Lisas. But we've not built a single reservoir, and I will deal with that after. I'm just waiting to hear what Hema asked him after this little speech.
Countries like Israel, for an example, master the catchment, the purification and the distribution of water, create new cities by sending water in certain parts of what is 67% deserted lands.
Jesus Christ, I should stop. This man will raise my pressure. He is talking about nations that are as old or younger than Trinidad and Tobago that have learned to master taking water into the deserts. An island in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, completely surrounded by water. Plus, we get torrents of rain 8 months out of the year. Unfortunately, tell us, Fitzy.
You know that I've seen with these eyes, and I've read, and I'm aware of what is possible. But unfortunately, Trinidad and Tobago, as I have discovered it for the last 6 months, in the 55-year block of our independence, has not been able to achieve that as yet.
If I was him, I'd tell him, you're a jackass, get up and leave. There's no more interview here. You're a jackass. You've just come here to tell this nation that we've elected jackasses to office for 55 years. You just told this nation that people who live in the desert could get water 24/7. You say you see it with your own eyes, and you know. You said it. You're a jackass. Fire yourself.
When we come back, we're going to find out more about what took place at that meeting. Has he met with the current MP? And also moving forward, how do we ensure that we not only ration the water supply, but ensure that every resident is able to get a water supply 24/7? Is that an unrealistic goal?
Hema took a break. Come on, Hema, you let down the whole journalist fraternity. I gotta turn this off now because the man, he was supposed to be put on the spot. This is what I said today. This is after listening to that, because New York City has 8 times the population of this country, but has none of the problems we have. We have 10 times the amount of government per capita as they do. They have 1 mayor and departments to manage. Here we have a central government, a local government, a parliament, a cabinet, and a public service, which obviously is still not enough to distribute something as simple as water, which falls from the sky as if by magic 8 months out of the year and rolls down the hills into the plains. Listen to this jackass try to explain away 55 years of government after government's failure to understand that all they had to do was capture this water in some sort of a device. Some suggest a reservoir, others suggest a dam, even deep water ponds and tanks. Yet, here we are, 55 years later after independence, and all these jackasses can do is build concrete drains to take the bounty of rainwater when it magically falls, take it from the hills and dump it into the sea. Not one new retention apparatus has been built since the Queen left these shores. Every single reservoir we have built under the British, but we're independent. We run things, yes. Jackasses, each and every one. Keep voting them. Vote red, then yellow, then red again. And cross your fingers and your toes and keep hoping that at some point one of these two groups might get infected with a thinking gene or an idea virus and come up with a solution to the bullshit that they have delivered to us for over 55 years, disguised and packaged and served to you as governance. Listen to this jackass as it is his turn to baffle you with bullshit, to tell you that politics is to blame, not a failure of government. You know what's the headline? Hines says he has evidence more of our protests were UNC motivated. When I stop it just now, I could go back, but you can play it for yourself. I'm sick of hearing it. Hines said he told the people of Morva, lights, and roads and running water are important, but they do not make you. I'll come back to that. Listen to this jackass as it is his turn to baffle you with bullshit. Tell you that politics is to blame, not a failure of government after government to treat the voters with respect or to decentralize the delivery of water and fund and empower the people to look after their own affairs. Not here, certainly not in the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, not at all. But this is a land where monkey knows street a climb and dog better than you if you come from poor people area. Why he didn't go and try and peddle that bullshit about street lights, paved roads and water not making you a person to the residents of Goodwood Park and see how long he would have had that job, how long before he was back on the streets chasing ambulances looking for a case. But Mova, Beatam, Lavantel and Sealots is a sin, a blight, nowhere he ends. The government could tell you government job is not to provide government service and you have to hush and take it because you have never learned how to properly use your vote or flex your economic might. If you've seen, and I put the link, if you need to hear this well orchestrated, clearly articulated bullshit yourself, click here. If you've seen the same distracting ass and donkey game before, say to the screen, to the image, Fitzgerald Hines, miss me with that bullshit. And for your lame excuses, distractions and foolishness, fire yourself. Yes?